I lost my family, my job, my dignity. I know what rock bottom feels like.
I was afraid to bring my friends over to the house. Dad was always drunk.
Invariably, every Tuesday evening of the year, you will find a group of men gathered together with a common thread that binds them. These men are learning how to heal, to love, to forgive, and in some cases, how to live. Jim Riley Outreach is a non-profit public service corporation dedicated to the recovery of those suffering from drug or alcohol addiction. This organization has impacted the lives of thousands of individuals and their families, offering hope and new beginnings. Jim Riley Outreach is a unique organization in the substance abuse treatment and recovery field. Our goal is our passion, to bring recovery to people for whom it might not otherwise be available. We do this with innovative and compassionate programs that combine multidimensional diagnosis and treatment with the tough love which is essential in treating addictions. Substance abuse and other addictions do not discriminate.
My days consisted of drinking most every day. It may not be a full-blown get-crazy day, but it was certainly tainted by the effects of alcohol.
Once I got in trouble with the law, I decided to quit doing drugs and became a daily drinker. In my last year drinking, I took in my backpack a bottle to class with me because I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't go the morning without drinking.
It's easy to judge people and even easier to stereotype those afflicted with alcohol or drug addiction, but the truth is that millions of us either have or will have a family member or someone close to us suffer from some form of addiction.
When we first found out about Rich's drinking, Rich was, I guess at that point in time, 15, 16 years of age.
Jared's never really given me a lot of trouble until about 15. And when he turned about 15, I noticed there was something wrong. And I just kind of dismissed it as being an adolescent issue. And it just continued to get worse.
The first time is when we received a call from one of our friends that a group of boys, which had included one of my oldest son, had been caught using marijuana. It's almost a story of the prodigal son. The youngest one was very strong in church, and after the first one got in trouble, we got into a real backlash situation, and I just think it was a carryover.
The Jim Riley Outreach offers support groups for both men and women. One of the key concepts discussed and used is accountability. Everyone going through recovery must be accountable, and the outreach makes sure of that in a safe environment where tough love is stressed. Some people call on the outreach of their own accord or through the intervention of a family member. However, some come in contact with the outreach because they are given a choice between treatment or jail time.
My husband was a professional. He held a professional license, and he would have really been in a lot of trouble licensure-wise had he had a DUI that stuck. So he sought legal help, and he was able to get it reduced, but it was contingent upon him going through Jim Riley's group.
The outreach staff literally takes offenders out of jail, transports them to an affiliated treatment center, and then works with the judges and officers of the court to supervise those individuals.
That's the very best time to get someone's attention, is right when the heat first hits them. And right when they're first arrested, that's when they're most interested in getting help.
When I hit rock bottom, I was looking at going to prison for 30 years on one case and 5 years on another. And I woke up every day, every single morning when I woke up, wondering whether I was going to prison or not.
The outreach offers help and hope to individuals who have completed a treatment program and are looking for a safe environment to begin living a clean and sober life in society by sponsoring a mentoring program. Director Joe Pello provides leadership and has strict guidelines for those individuals to follow. This program offers practical, emotional, and spiritual support and guidance. Many people often ask how the outreach got started. About 40 years ago, Jim Riley was an All-American on the University of Oklahoma football team and was the 29th player taken in the NFL draft. During his career in the pros, Jim had it all. He was on top of the world as well as his game. A member of the Miami Dolphins' original no-name defense, he owns a Super Bowl ring from the legendary 1972 team that had the only perfect season in NFL history. But, he says, he made some really bad choices. And he thought alcohol gave him something he didn't have: courage. By the time he was 31 or 32, he was a full-blown alcoholic. Fortunately for Jim, there was a guardian angel who was there supporting him in good times and in bad, his wife of 37 years, Robin. It was Robin, Jim's children, other close friends and family who convinced Jim to seek help for his addiction. Less than 2 years following the beginning of his recovery, he and Robin felt compelled to help others. They took everything they had and began the outreach. As a former athlete, Jim knows all too well how easy it is for young athletes to abuse alcohol and drugs.
Being the head coach at Central Oklahoma, it's something that we deal with every day, you know, the drugs and alcohol. And I think college is the toughest time in a lot of young people's lives. I think they're trying to find who they are, trying to find where they fit in certain groups. And that's a time of, a lot of times, of experimenting, you know, with drugs and alcohol. Jim he works hand in hand with us on that. You know, Jim is a part of our program.
In addition to affecting the lives of so many addicted to alcohol and drugs, over the last 20 years, Jim has spoken to over 2,000 groups. He brings an inspiring word of hope and love, recognizing the critical help available through inpatient and outpatient treatment programs. 25% of the funds the outreach raises go towards helping those who need treatment but can't afford it. The outreach has been found to be very beneficial to the employees of several major corporations.
At Arvest Bank, we've got several thousand employees in the state of Oklahoma, and we are kidding ourselves if we don't think some of our employees need the services of what Jim and Robin can do for them. And we've got issues, alcohol, drug, you name it, just because people are people, and most try to hide it, I'd suspect, from our company, and yet we've tried to reach out and make Jim available in the sense of counseling and the like.
Statistics indicate somewhere in the neighborhood 10–12% of your workforce, just your workforce, has a substance abuse issue, drugs or alcohol. With a company the size of One Oak, it could be fairly significant. I made a lot of referrals to the outreach.
I owe everything to Jim for what, you know, the outreach he's done for us at UCO, and certainly the outreach he's meant to and around the community as well.
I no longer live in the shadows that I made for myself and my family in years past.
He saves lives.
They love me for who I was.
The outreach has just been absolutely tremendous in working with our employees, but also our family members as well.
He's trying to go back to school, held a good job. He's loving, he's kind. I've got my son back.
Jim Riley Outreach, offering hope to thousands, teaching them how to heal, how to love, how to forgive, and how to start living all over again, making better choices.